Empire. I don't really watch the show, but I hear it's doing great. But I happened to pick up on some comments by the show's cast member Terrence Howard. This guy is such a talented actor. He's got looks, he's got money, he's got fame, he's got a hit TV show. But for Terrence Howard, there's something missing. Despite how much he has, his life just isn't complete and sub-satisfactory if he can't say the N-word more.
I think what's happening. Propaganda.
The show is already doing great. That's not enough for you? You want to get greedy and add the N-word? That's the icing on the cake you need? I mean, we always want to improve and go beyond set standards, but you want to go beyond standards by lowering them. Can you please allow us to be free from this crap? Much of the black community complains that the news and entertainment media is always portraying us in a negative way. Meanwhile, if we're not portraying the nitty-gritty negative the way it is in the streets, N-word style, then we're not keeping it real. You don't want to be portrayed like this, but when we're not, then we're not keeping it real. The only thing real about this is how really dumb it is. Afro-Centrics are blaming white people for the state of black Americans. Why? When it's other blacks telling you that this is what it is to be real. This is what it is to be black. This is what it is to be real black. And this rests on the foundations of the N-word. It's you keeping the black community walking in this circle of discontent. And what's worse is this foolish concept of N-word etiquette. My good sir, the proper application of the N-word is to employ the AH in the second syllable of the N-word. This caused the N-word to resolve with the second syllable sounding as ah, implying endearment as in ah, my chum. However, should the N-word be announced employing ER in the second syllable, causing the N-word to resolve as then I shall have to react as that negative stereotype that I'm offended as being stereotyped as, while at the same time insisting that if we're not behaving according to the stereotypes we're offended by, we're not authentically black. Thus, upon usage of the N-word resolving as I shall have to resort to getting really hood and initiate the busting of caps in your anus. When black people have beef with each other and start using the N-word to insult each other, they still use the resolve of the N-word, and there's nothing endearing or friendly about it. They don't change the way they say it to make it more insulting or hostile and resolve the N-word with Yeah, you feel that? I hit you with the instead of the Bet it cut you deep, didn't it? To be instead of odd. There's no need to do that, because no matter how you end the word, it begins and ends with hate. That same word you claim is how you talk with your friends is that same word you'll resort to with your enemies. You'll use it in what you think is love and use it in all sincerity against those you hate. People don't use the word beautiful to express anger or hate. Hey, you're beautiful. I love your smile. It's a word that fits with love. It's not effectively used in hate. Screw you, you beautiful butthole. Anyway, oh yeah, here's a brilliant plan. Let's say the N-word over and over again and make music and dialogue saturated with it, and then get mad at white people when they assume it's okay to repeat it and call them racist. Yeah, we're black and we hate white power people like the KKK, but we want to use the same hateful words they do. This also brings out the stupid notion of anybody can be the N-word. There's white N-words, wiggers. There's Latino N-words. What are we supposed to call them? Liggers? And are those words volatile enough to say, you can't say wigger? Are we gonna have to say the W word instead? When I think of the term wigger, I'm just thinking of a person who stacks up on hair pieces. The N-word was used to implicate someone as subhuman. Blacks were deemed as subhuman, so it could be legal to keep and trade them as property. The N-word, being a variation of the Spanish term Negro, was employed to maintain the narrative that blacks were subhuman. And being that the word was used to describe said state of blacks, I say to you assuredly, you're giving yourself a self-righteous false sense of PC social comfort in thinking that any race can be the N-word. Nobody uses the N-word against anyone without thinking about black people. And when you try to apply that to any other race, you're basically trying to insult them by saying you're lower than black people. So when you throw out the N-word like it ain't no thing, what you're perpetuating is the narrative that blacks are beneath personhood. You keep telling each other that you're less than human and think nothing of it, and then accuse white people of treating you like second-class citizens. You treat yourself like that. Might I add, it's disgusting to me when people of any race try to act like it's comfortable for them to say it. Hey, those blacks have accepted me into their tribe. I can use the N-word around them, and it's okay. It disgusts me when blacks say it to each other, and it disgusts me when blacks give a pass to another person of another race who gets a cheap thrill out of saying it around black people as they pat themselves on the back as being acceptable to real blacks. Or people who feel like they're too mature to say the N-word as N-word. What are we, children? I'm just gonna say it. I'm grown. I don't feel comfortable saying N-word like we're in kindergarten or something. Well, how interesting for you that you feel more comfortable in just sounding out the actual N-word, as if the actual word isn't childish itself. I'm Alfonso Rachel with ZoNation, and I'm glad that Empire co-star Taraji P. Henson also agrees that the N-word needs to get dished, and that the show will be just fine without it. Unlike Terrence Howard, who gets to perform with this beautiful co-star, but still it isn't enough. He's gotta say the N-word. Yeah, you feel that? I hit you with the instead of the ah.